So far, much of what we've been talking about really circles around the interaction of two words, responsibility and accountability. And when I say responsibility, I'm talking about more than just telling someone that they're doing something wrong. And it's more than just even taking the blame for someone else. Responsibility is being with someone. If they laugh, you laugh. If they cry, you cry. If they have a need, you help them to get whatever it is that they need. And if it's in your power to provide it for them, then you do that. So as the word says, faith without works is dead.
That's right.
Okay, so you can pray for someone, you can hope for their best, but guess what? You should go out and help them to make sure they get what they need. Provide it for them. And so now here's how this works. When you become responsible in that way, that person whom you're responsible for becomes accountable to you. Isn't that something? So now when that young person's on the street and they're about to do something wrong, they may not think directly of you, but they'll think that there's somebody in their life who they're accountable to, and I'm not going to do that because I know someone in the back of my head is going to be mad at me. When they become accountable to you, guess what? They're also accountable to themselves. So now they'll want to do good in school because they know that there's someone again out there who cares for them, who wants to see them do their best. Now this accountability thing, it doesn't just stop with children and young adults, it's also the same for us too. So now how do we become responsible for someone? So let's use another word that we've been tossing around back and forth. It's called mentoring. And what does mentoring mean? Again, being with someone. So you don't just have to mentor a child or a young person. We can mentor each other. Adults need somebody to lean on too. And you might know something that I don't know. I might know something that you don't know. We both have a piece of our mutual puzzles. And if I don't communicate with you, my puzzle may be incomplete as well as yours. So let's just keep that in mind about responsibility and accountability.
Right. Just real quickly, I want us to hear what's being said. Because what happens is in the public discourse, in the national discourse, they will basically say that we're responsible. So, but what we have here is the combination of institutions being held responsible and we ourselves being held responsible.
Thank you.
I want to be very clear. My mother, God bless her soul, had her first baby when she was in 8th grade. And my mother did not go to one PTA meeting.
Come on.
Did not go to my baseball game. Didn't show up to award ceremony. You know why? She worked a graveyard.
Come on. Thank you.
So she was sleeping.
Thank you.
Right? And my dad was at work and couldn't get off.
Thank you.
And so oftentimes people are holding parents accountable who are in fact parenting, but they're working their behind. Important, given the fact that we live in an environment that's demanding that we work harder hours for more hours for less money, that our public institutions actually serve our kids.
Thank you.
Because some parents just can't get off.
Thank you.
Or they'll lose the job that pays the rent.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I couldn't go to school and look to my teacher for direction because I didn't see a teacher that I could relate to. She didn't look like me. And when she went home, she went to Westchester. She went far, far away from what my problems were. You know, her issues ended at 4, and mine started at 4:30. You know, so you have all these kids that are going through that, and they don't know anything but to be wild. When you talk to some of these kids, they don't have any hopes in their eyes because they don't know anything but what they see around them. You know, and you can paint all the positive pictures, and we can tell them all the right things to do, but it's hard to do it when you literally don't see it. Like, and I think that's kind of what has happened. That there's no figure now to kind of say, hey, you're going to sometimes do the wrong thing, but there's still a way to to be positive about certain things. You still have to protect your community. So now you have old ladies that are afraid of the little boys on their block that they know since they were 4 or 5 years old because they don't know them anymore. And I just think that's been part of it.
That was profound. That was Pastor Davis, if I may. just to add to an extension, I'm just going to ask us all today, as a volunteer director of the Bronx Youth Empowerment Program, one of the things that we pride ourselves on to engage the youth in the community is to connect with those who walk before us, who have done the work to keep us united as a community. There is no way that our community will continue to stand if we, all of us in the room here today, get it, or we're here to get it. I'm going to ask you all, when you walk out of this room today, to do something different for a young person. These young people, the other day I was down here in Dreiser and I was having a conversation with a couple of young men that, no disrespect to Co-op City Police, but was asking them to move because they were congregating. And their question to me was, where do we go? So I'm saying to us, in order for us to allow them to give them just a little ray of hope, from time to time, say hello to them. Act like they are part of the community so they won't be disrespected to the community. We have to do that. We have to bring that back to the community. And I think that's one way we can start the conversation to move them into a progression, as you say, getting out of their way, but we have to show them a way to get it so we can get out of the way.